Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to our webinar Oxygen 6.1, beginning of a new area. With us today is Ivica Beresic. Good morning, Ivica.
Good morning, Mark.
And he will skillfully drive us and guide us through all the technology. My name is Mark Wehmschulte, and I have the pleasure to guide you, to lead you through this event today. Before we start, I would like to mention and point out 3 points. At any time during the webinar, you can ask questions using our chat tool in the GoToWebinar device. And at the end of the webinar, we will ask you some questions. And it would be very kind and nice if you can stay until the end and answer those questions just to help us to improve and to get better from every webinar. You can also find a lot of information on our social media channels like LinkedIn, Xing, Facebook, Instagram. And you see on the agenda on the left-hand side, there is already a QR code. So if you take your mobile phone and scan the QR code, you get a direct link to all our social media platform pages. Okay, so you can see in our agenda, we have a lot planned today, and let's start with the very first point. Like in every version, we have added some more new export formats, and Ivica, can you please show us what we have done now?
Sure, Mark. Yes, again, a very warm welcome from my side, and let's start directly with the features, as Mark said, and the very first point was new export formats, and we have added tdms and IMC2 for compatibility with LabVIEW and Famos. So that was asked from some of our customers, and we implemented those new exports. Those who need them are going to be happy as every export format. Those who don't know what those are, they will probably not need them. So just for those who are interested, tdms and IMC2 is supported now as export format, yes.
Yeah, and I think especially IMC2 was asked very frequently. So I think that's a big step to make it easier now to direct export it in this format.
Exactly.
But we also made some improvements in the area of CAN bus data navigation. So
yes.
It's easy, and I think you will show us now with a few clicks how easy it is now to set up CAN messages.
Exactly. So I just went out of the screen to turn on my measurement and my screen to show you some features now, since we are going now into the live measurement. What you see on my screen is our measurement software Oxygen. I have a system next to my right side, which is live measuring. I have a tuning fork, the typical tuning fork for measurement systems, here to show you some signals. But first of all, CAN, and what I would like to show you with CAN, the two features that did find their way into our software feature. This is scanning messages and ENUM scaling. And I'm going to explain to you what it is and what it is used for. So scan messages is used for CAN if you have, let's say you have a huge machine and you get messages in from the CAN bus, and those messages are not in the DBC file. So we will have problems because you will not see them if you don't scan for those messages. And if you have even the possibility, if you know how to decode those messages, you haven't been able to do so until now. So what I'm going to show you now, I'm going into the channels menu. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this CAN input from hours here. And I'm going to go to messages and signals. And within here, we have now the possibility to auto-detect new messages. That's the new point. So I don't have to type things in and to find things. I just have to click here and turn it on, auto-detect new messages. And as you can see, automatically a new message is detected. What you then need to do is, when you know what's in there, if you have your decryption stuff that is not in the DBC file, but you have it manual, you can then add a signal here. And I'm going to call that signal now ENUM scaling is going to be, exactly. So I'm going to call it ENUM input. Okay. And as we can see already, the signal is decoded because I used, of course, simple stuff. I used an integer, assigned integer and everything. So this is just typical. And we see already a signal coming in. Now, if you imagine, and we can go back here, you see this down here is the signal that I'm sending over a CAN generator to the CAN bus. And if we go back here to the CAN inputs, you see that this is the signal also that I'm now receiving over CAN. The problem that you have with huge machines is that a lot of signals are being sent as digital numbers, like 0 till 10 or 12. And those numbers have a meaning, like machine on, machine off, a failure, whatever. And if you don't know those numbers by heart or by reading the DBC file, you will not know what that now means. And now with Oxygen, we have again the possibility either automatically by the DBC file or our XML file, that this is automatically detected if it is written in the DBC file. But you have now the possibility as well to then change this enum labeler by here, adding those values, okay? And then you say 1 means machine is on, 2 means error, let's call it fail, and or fault, whatever. And 0 is off. Okay. So then, if you record those data from the machine and you have all your other stuff included, you get those exact values either by changing it manually, as I did it now, or you have it in the DBC file already written. It is done automatically. So you have the real text there. You don't have to know the manual by heart, what the digital code 1 means if it's sent to you. You have it now as a plain text written here within Oxygen. So that's new, that came to Oxygen. Exactly.
Okay, pretty cool. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can, definitely. So
yes,
that was also a request by a customer here in Austria, and that's why I'm so happy that this is now within Oxygen. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, and also in the area of statistics, for those of you who have a strong focus on statistic calculations, we have some more new options. Some more calculation have been added, and also sliding values can now be determined.
Exactly. So if you look at our statistics window that we had prior to that, I had to make a screenshot because I have already the new Oxygen installed. So I made a screenshot, and you see we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values available in the old version of Oxygen, and these are the like typical values that can be offered, like average, RMS, ACRMS, min and max. But it was not enough anymore for our customers. They needed way more. And I'm going to show you now the new way or the new possibilities with statistics. Therefore, I have to choose any analog input. It doesn't matter. There we go. And we go here to statistics, and voila, you see what happened. It's not just the first 5 values anymore. We added way more statistics in there, like peak, min and max over time, and so much more. So you see these possibilities here that are added. And the most amazing stuff additional to this is that we added 3 different ways of calculation types that I'm going to show you what the differences are. And what we added as well is the possibility for the window size. So until now, if we did statistics, I will show it to you. It was 1 window, then here we go, 1 window, then the next window was added, then the next window. And now we have the possibility to have, for example, a 1 second statistic window, but overlapping each other. So the typical moving average is possible now with these possibilities. And I would like to show you the differences for this. And this is why I have my tuning fork, and I'm going to try to keep it in the air so you can see it. So if I press my tuning fork, you see the real signal here. What's going on, okay? And until now, we had, if we go here to statistics, this max window. So every second the max value of the window from this point to this point. And you see it was one value every second. In this version now, what we did, we added overlapping moving averages or maxes. So if I choose now overlapping here, and I choose overlapping here, so you can see the differences. It's not just one value per second. If I use, for example, I use overlapping 50, it's still the window, measuring window is 1 second, but it's now overlapped with 50%. So you see, you generate way more data. Of course, if it's 50%, the double of data, but it's overlapping now. It's still an average over 1 second, but it's overlapping now. It's helping so much if you need constant averages over 1 second, but you would like to have more values than just every second because it's windowed. You can overlap this window now. And you see the orange and the blue line, the difference between these two kind of measurements, okay? And what we did as well is, if I just like restart the measurement, we added as well the overall max, okay? So I'm gonna add this here as well, so that you can see that at the end of the measurement, you get a third value, the third option, to have even the overall max of the whole measurement. You see the red line up here, that's the overall max. And this is valid for the whole measurement. It's not gonna change. You see the other two are changing because they are window measurements, an average or the max of a window, and the max overall, the average overall, the RMS overall is the measurement over the whole time. So this is what found the use into Oxygen 6.1. Some more calculations like overlapping and overall, and way more statistics that are available now with 6.1.
Yeah, I think the number of statistic calculations have been more than doubled. Yeah, I think that's a huge step in the chapter statistic.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. Coming to the next point, I think Oxygen is quite famous, and most of our customers love our possibilities of how to set up trigger events, and I think we are really unique in the market with our options and flexibility here. But again, there was some improvement. We have added some more features in the chapter trigger event.
Yes, exactly. So we listened to our customer, and we had we have minor changes as well, but I'm going to point out the two most amazing features for trigger functions, and that is that you are now able to use, I'm going to show it. I think it's easier when I show it. Here we go. We have now the possibility to have a pause time trigger now, which means if you have a trigger that stops your measurement or pauses your measurement, your measurement is continuing for a couple of seconds if needed, okay? What we have now as well is that you can start the measurement automatically and stop the measurement after a couple of seconds. But what we have as well is the possibility with a trigger to stop the measurement. Until now, we didn't have that. We had only the possibility to pause a measurement, but now it's possible also to stop the measurement and to completely get out of being ready to record. So I'm gonna show this. My trigger events I put on my keyboard. So with space, I can start the recording, and with return, I can stop it. So I'm gonna show you the function until now. So until now, it was like you did arm your system, and your measurement started, and after some, of course, the triggering can happen also through the signal. A trigger happened. And until now, if you wanted to stop the measurement, you had to press the button stop or the symbol or here stop, okay? With the new possibilities that we have now in there, you are able, I'm gonna start again a recording. So I'm gonna arm the system again. So you see the system is armed, the measurement is starting, a trigger event happened. You're now able to stop the measurement by a trigger automatically. I'm gonna hit the return button now. So, and the measurement is gonna being stopped and stored automatically, okay? You don't have to do that manually anymore by by the buttons in the software. Okay, so these are the amazing new features that found into this new Oxygen release. So stop with a trigger and the post stop, how do you call it, post time, which is very often asked and very often needed here within Oxygen. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, like many of you know, Dewetron is very strong in power analyzing. Since we came out with our power analyzer, we have always improved our power analyzer software. And yeah, as you know, every Dewetron device can also be a power analyzer and used for our power calculations. And here we have added some new calculations.
Yes, exactly. So the famous Dewetron word, mixed signal power analyzer. So not just a power analyzer, but also measuring all other stuff. But we have, as you said, additional power calculations within the power group. And what I want to show you first is the thing from down here, option to show face-to-face voltages within the power group. It's just easy by clicking this small rectangle here and choosing the option to turn on face-to-face voltages. And you see it here. They are turned on or turned off within the table. So these are calculated already before, just it was missing in the table, and we didn't think that it was necessary to show them, but we got we got some feedback from customers, and they told us, please, if could you put those into the table as well. So we put them into the table, so we can turn them on or off here. The further calculations that we did and put into the power group was that we have now the impedance for the harmonics. So the resistance, the reactance, and the impedance for the harmonics. And if you take them out, it is, of course, harmonics group stable that you can see for every harmonics, the impedance and the values that you have. You can also make math formulas with those values. We can get them out if necessary. So these values are now in the power group as well. And what we had very often asked for, or what we have been asked for, was the energy to be the transferred energy to be not just visible in watt hours or milliwatt hours as it's here, but also for batteries, for example. Very important that the charge quantity which is transmitted by the current within a certain time that is shown. So ampere-hours, especially important for batteries. So what we did is, under energy, there's the capacity, and what you can use now is we calculate now with the power group, the ampere-hours automatically as well. What you just need to do is to turn them off, because typically they are to turn them on. Typically they are turned off. So that's a very nice feature for those who work with batteries and for those who work for renewable energies, for example, photovoltaic or wind power. If they want to store energy, if they want to use energy, that's what it where the use case is usually for.
A good move forward, as far as I think.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, and starting with version 6 of our software Oxygen, we have put a real strong focus on data navigation. But before we go into details concerning the data navigation, I think we have also some smaller changes in our software summarized under the chapter miscellaneous.
Yes, exactly. So the miscs that we have is, not everybody needs it, but it should be part of every measurement software. Polynomial input scaling, we have it now implemented within Oxygen. There are some sensors who have such kind of scaling curve, and it's now easy possible within Oxygen to make those scalings possible. SCPI, for those who use SCPI, it's possible now to use binary formats as SCPI data that you give over. Was asked by some customers, and it's possible now to use Intel and Motorola binary, binary data forms. Okay, exactly. So that's data formats. That's it. And for MQTT, we have our special guest here, or at least the video of him here. It's our R&D manager, Michael Oberhofer, and he's going to say, after all of those these two things, and what MQT is for. So I'm going to start a video now.
We are also working on a MQTT plugin for Oxygen together with an Austrian company, which is using Oxygen software together with this plugin as data acquisition software for their test environment. They needed a data acquisition software which is capable of acquiring foreign data and external data, and Oxygen is the right software for that because they are generating massive of data, and Oxygen is the right solution for them.
Here we go. So Michael perfectly explained what MQTT is for. So that's about the MISC stuff. And as you already said, data navigation is the big part of Oxygen 6.1, and therefore I would like again invite Michael Oberhofer to make a statement about, as an R&D manager, about what happened here, and then I can show it to you. So give me a second. Here is the video about data navigation.
As you know from the last webinar, we introduced the Oxygen feature package data navigation, and we also worked this quarter on the improvement of this feature. We have a new feature set now available in Oxygen 6.1, where you can load multiple measurement files independent from the measurement itself. You can load multiple files from different measurement campaigns. For example, when you want to compare the data, or you want to do calculations on the data from one file to another file. And you also can analyze files which are measured with GPS synchronization, for example, and load the data files from different measurement devices at once in Oxygen and get one data set from the whole measurement. And this simplifies the measurement workflow, and the next quarter we also want to make it more easy for you to use this feature, very simple, and I think this will be great in the future and simplify your measurement workflow.
So here we go. Mark, can you see my screen again?
No, it's lost.
Okay.
But I got a bigger picture of you now.
Here we go. Here's my screen.
Yeah, it is.
I don't want you guys to see me as in a bigger screen. That's not something that I want you to do for you. No, but here we go. So you should be able to see my screen again. So it's data navigation is part of it, and within this special 6.1 release, we are able, or what we put in was open multiple measurements. And to be honest, I don't know what happened to me that I made that feature so small. So because that's just big. Okay, so let's make that feature big. And I'm just showing you on how to easily change stuff within Oxygen and how to make your screen fast and change your setup. So open multiple measurements within Oxygen to analyze them. That's a huge feature. If you have a measurement campaign and you measure a lot of measurements after each other, but you would like to compare them, you would like to see what's the difference compared to each other. That's possible now within Oxygen. Okay, and that's something that I would like to show you now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to Oxygen, and as you remembered prior to this, I did two measurements a couple of minutes ago with the trigger function that I showed to you. And what I'm going to do now is I have those two measurement files here. You see it from today. I'm going to open one measurement file. Okay, and that's why I'm doing it like this is double-clicking on the oxygen measurement file is to show you that even if a measurement is running in the background, I'm able to open a measurement data file in a new instance. And here we see that's just one measurement that I opened, and that's the measurement that I triggered, and here we go. So, but I did the triggering 2 times, and it was the same tuning fork. And what I would like to do now is I go to settings, and I open this one here, and I say add file. So I go here, and I choose the file that I would like to open, so the second file. I open this second file into the same file that is already opened, okay? And what you will see is that those measurement files are automatically aligned after each other because the measurement took place after each other. Now, to see that second channel in the same recorder, I need to go to that channel and say, please show me that tuning fork of that new file. And as you can see, those files are here. So I'm gonna close it. You see, we have 2 files now opened here, okay? So here we go. This is the tuning fork of the second file. Now, in the most cases, aligning them on the absolute time is not something that you need because you have them maybe measured on different days, on different times, whatever. What you want to see in most cases is that you would like to align them on the trigger happenings, on the recording start. And that's easily by choosing here, either you align them automatically, manual. So by, for example, adding the time manually, that's possible too, okay? You align them to the absolute time, that's also possible. Or you align them to recording start, and that's what we need. So if you go here, it's the same tuning fork. We go into the settings of the, sorry, here we go, of the recorder, and we change the color of one of the tuning forks. Now you see exactly both triggered and exactly the exact recording time overlapping of each other. So we have a measurement campaign with multiple measurements, and you would like to compare them. It was not possible until now to do that visual comparison. You had to do it in a third program software. Now it's possible to do it within Oxygen to compare your measurement exactly on the triggering that happened. And that's such an amazing and huge feature. And not only that, after that, now you can choose to save these files now as a single DMD file, combine them in one single file as well. So this new feature is a really, really big feature.
Yeah. It's cool stuff, yeah. And like Michael said at the beginning in his video, there is more to come. So there is
more to come, definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, but so far as the software is concerned, but also our hardware department has been quite busy over the past 3 months. And Ivo, can you please show what they have done so far?
Yes, of course. So IRIG Master is now implemented into our systems for 3-on timing and 3-on VGPS cards. Until now, we have always been IRIG slave, but with those 2 cards, we are now able to be IRIG Master, and the output is IRIG B DC signal. So that's a new thing. Also for the Trion X multi-modules, we have now a 10th order Bessel or Butterworth hardware filter, which is really, really amazing. And yes, these are the 2 features that we are allowed to talk about, but there is so much more to come in the next couple of weeks and months, and we are not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit in the Outlook.
Yes, okay, so let's switch to
Outlook now, yeah? Now we have the Outlook.
Yes, so we are at the end of the webinar. I see we have 1 or 2 questions as well. So the Outlook, as spoken, the open multiple files is going to be it's going to be possible to open specific channels only, and not all the channels, as I showed to you now. So this is something that is going to find in the next release. We are going to add further statistic calculations. There is going to be even more options to use statistics. So we are not at the end here as well. We are going to add a difference plugin to take 2 measurement points and subtract them from each other to find out the difference. a net CDF export is going to take place. I don't know what it is. Mark, maybe you know what it is. For those who don't know, so for those who don't know what it is, you will probably never need it. For those who know what it is, here it goes. And as I already mentioned, it's going to happen a lot of small stuff for usability improvements are going to take place, and we are going to have hardware support for new products, which are where we are not allowed to talk about now, but stay tuned. These are going to be very amazing.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, we have come to the end of this webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much on behalf of the whole Dewetron team for your attention. You see the QR code again. So for those of you who missed the chance to take a scan of it, take it now. Take your mobile, scan the QR code, and you get a direct connection to our social media pages. You can also subscribe to our newsletter on our website, www.dewetron.com/academy. You can find also our webinars, our past webinars, and some more information. And yeah, for now, I think thank again for your attention, for your time, and hope to see you next time. Stay healthy.
Stay healthy. Bye bye all.
Thank you. Bye.